Family History Training. A summary of Begin at the Beginning. Turning hearts of the children to their fathers.
Okay, welcome. This is Begin at the Beginning, helping others to love family history. My name is Mike Sandberg, and I'm happy to be here today and share some things about how we can help others feel a deep love for family history. A good family history worker can save a beginner hours and weeks and even months of frustration. And she did that by providing an easy first experience for me, something that I could understand that was at my level. She also awoke in me a love for family history that has continued to this day and has just grown. Last year we studied a lot of consultants like Sharon, and we wanted to understand what the best consultants out there do. And today I'm going to share with you what we learned. Now, what we've also noticed is that those experiences often happen in a one-on-one setting or a helper to family setting. They don't happen in a large classroom or lecturing a lot of people. It happens as you actually do work in the context of someone's own family tree. So here's a list of best practices, 6 principles that we're going to just touch on briefly today. The first thing is that they prepare spiritually, and that can include things like prayer, listening to the Holy Ghost and acting on its promptings. The next thing they do is they discover family goals. They find out what the patron's agenda is, what they want to accomplish, and then they act on that. Next, they will get access to the patron's tree. They'll ask, can I have permission to look at your family tree before we actually sit down and get into family search? And the reason they want to do that is because they're going to search the tree. That's our 4th principle. And in looking at the tree, they find the perfect place for that beginner to have their initial experience. They don't sit for hours and hours hunting through all sorts of branches of the tree trying to find something. They do that all ahead of time, and then when they get with the member, they sit down and lead them to that place they found ahead of time. In doing that, then, that leads to our 5th principle, which is they prepare a personalized lesson plan for that first meeting. And that lesson plan goes step by step through the things that they need to do in that first meeting to guarantee or to try to guarantee a success experience. Finally, the last principle is they point that patron to the temple. They encourage them to get the work done. It doesn't do any good to have a long list of names reserved if the work doesn't get done. And so the best consultants point people to the temple. Now, so I want to show you what we're talking about. And today I have a special guest that's going to help me out. This is my sister-in-law, Emily Arrington, and she's going to be joining with me in a minute. Emily is an actual beginner who has never found and prepared a name for temple work. Today, with the Spirit's help, we're going to help Emily have a good first experience. Now, about a month ago, I followed this process. So I prayed, who should I be helping today? And Emily's name came to mind pretty strongly. So I approached her and said, Emily, I think I'm supposed to help you. You're willing to do this. And she agreed, and I'm grateful for that. Then I asked her for access to her tree. I went out and looked in her tree, and I wrote up that success plan based on what I found. And here's an example of that. Okay, so today, Emily, we're going to do something that we call Descendancy Research. Have you heard of that before?
No.
No, okay. You've looked out here for names before, though, right?
Yes.
Tell me about how that's gone.
Okay, well, I've taken the family history class in my ward twice, and I've never found a name yet. And like Mike said, I've done indexing and all that kind of thing, and I have a strong testimony of this. I've taken my in-laws, some of their names to the temple, and I feel so bad that I've never taken any from my line. I researched the line one time, and it was not even, they had the same last name as my line, but it was totally not even related to me. So after that, I gave up. I'm like, I just spent half an hour on someone that's not even related to me, so I'm done.
Okay. Well, hopefully we don't hit that happening today. Now, again, I went out ahead of time and mapped out some paths, and we're going to follow one of those paths today. I'll give you this later so that you can follow it on your own. So, Emily, we're going to do descendancy research today, and that means we go up your tree, because you really have a full tree.
I do.
Yeah. So we go up the tree to about 1800 or so, and then we come down some collateral lines and look for cousins, what Elder Anderson invited us to do a couple years ago, which is look for our cousins. So we're going to look for some cousins. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, so the first place we're going to go is out here to Betsy Maria. And I just want you to click on her. You can see a little bit about her. She's from Utah, so we don't usually research people descended from folks that are in Utah because their stuff's usually done. So click away off this. But if you hover over her, there's a little fan chart there. Do you see that? Click on the fan chart, and that puts her in the middle. And now you see her ancestors, okay? So again, we want to get back to that sweet spot, like 1800 time frame. So now where we're going to go is to John Bybee Jr. Just right there, and put him in the middle. Good.
I'm really good at clicking. That took a long time to practice those first.
Awesome. Okay, now we're going to go down. Okay, the way we go down is, see this little icon right here? That's the descendancy icon. So this says that's John and who John was married to and all their descendants, okay? Now that can take up a lot of real estate, so I want you to go click on Show here. And click off Portraits, uncheck that. Okay, and then if you see here now, we can see a lot more on the screen, right? Lots of kids there. The next place we're gonna go is to this Neil McCann Bybee. If you click on that little arrow next to him, that's Neil and his descendants. Again, lots of kids.
Yeah.
Scroll down, and Neil had a son named Neil, right here. Open him up. So we're just going down generation, right? All right, now from Neil, we're gonna go to his son, Willis. So scroll down, this Neil, keep going. We opened that Neil there, so he had a son, keep going down. Okay, there's Willis. Okay, and Willis had a son named Charles, so that's where we're going. Now when I found Charles here, the thing I saw here was these yellow temples. Do you know what the temples mean?
That their work's been done?
Yeah, so if there's no temple, their work's been done.
Oh.
If there's a blue temple, then their work's in process. If there's a green temple, there's an opportunity to do work. But on this green temple here, he was born in 1908, so he's not really available yet because he falls in a rule that we call the 110-year rule. So we're not going to worry about him today. But what I saw here was these yellow or orangish temples. You see those?
Yeah.
So an orange temple means that there's some information missing. And if we can find the missing information, then we can get those ordinances done. All right? Which is good because Charles, if you click on Charles, his name right there, he's had some of his ordinance done. Some of these others are in process, but he's not been sealed to his wife. Click on Cordelia. None of her stuff's been done. And the reason why he hasn't been sealed to her and the reason why her stuff is not done is because there's missing information. So we want to try to find the missing information that's required in order to qualify her for temple work. Make sense?
Totally.
Okay, you're with me.
Yes.
So I want you to click on person. This takes us to a person page. This is Cordelia's page. This is what we know about Cordelia, which isn't much. If you scroll down here a little bit, we don't know where she was born or where she was christened or where she died or where she got married. We don't really have any events on her. Right?
Yeah.
So all we have is a name.
Yeah,
So we need to find events, okay? If you click on ordinances here, it will say, I need a place and an event. Something, give me something, a birth date, a birthplace, a marriage date, some event, okay? So that's what we're looking for. So details. Now over here, these are record hints. When we put someone into family search, it says, oh, Cordelia Smith, and she's related to Charles Bybee. I think I might have a record that someone is indexed. So these little blue things over here, they're called record hints. And they're telling us that I think I found something that matches. So what family search does is when you put someone in, it says, is there a record out there for Cordelia that's a close match? And if so, it gives you a hint. So we look at the hints, and we like hints on someone like Cordelia because hints have missing information a lot of times. So click on this 1910 census. Let's see what we can learn about Cordelia. So what do you see here about Cordelia?
Census 1910, female 33,
Yep.
married.
Wait, she's 33.
Yeah.
So if they know she's 33,
Well, then they must have,
they
Birth.
can calculate a birth year, right?
yeah.
What else do we know about her?
She was born in Kentucky.
So now we have a birthplace.
Oh, and birth year estimated 1877.
Yeah, so it calculates that based on the age in the census. This tells you what we know about the family. So we've got Charles, Cordelia, and then what do you see there?
There are 3 children.
How many were in the census?
4.
4 children. So not only have we found some information about Cordelia, we've found a missing
Child.
Yeah. These are the 3 sons, Pearlie, Willis, and in the census it says Laley.
Oh, but they put
It's
Leslie.
Leslie. Yeah, so I had that there.
So because we found that, can we put like her information in?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm gonna show you how to do that. Go back up. Click on that first hint again. So now we're gonna take that indexed record, thanks to people like you that have indexed. So see the value of indexing?
yeah.
It's awesome.
Grace, my daughter indexed, so good on you, honey.
Good, Grace. Yeah. Review and attach.
And then it puts it in?
We're gonna do that. So on the left side is the indexed information. On the right side is the information in the tree, right?
Okay, yeah.
You can see here in the tree, there's no birthplace or date, right? And then we also got a residence there. So we want to add that into the tree. So click those, boom, boom. You've just contributed to the tree.
Pretty easy. Woohoo!
Now, click here, reason to attach source. And what I do, go ahead and scroll down just a second here. I'm going to show you a little bit. So the reason why we feel good about attaching this record is because look at all these matching points. Cordelia, close, right? Charles, Pearlie, George Pearlie.
Yeah.
These dates are a little off, 2 years off, but that's okay when you're dealing with records this old. Sometimes people answering the questions of the census taker might not have known exactly you're even offered a year or 2. Ursa's missing, right? We're gonna add her in a second. Willis, Bybee. So they didn't even, on the census record, they just had Bybee. They didn't, or they had Laley, but the indexer didn't, for some reason Laley didn't show up there. But we know it was Laley and we have Leslie here. So those things match, right?
Yeah.
So when enough of those points match and the dates match, we get a confidence that, yep, that record is about that family.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So we want to check that out because we're good genealogists too, right? So now our reason is,
Yeah.
click on that reason area.
Oh.
And the reason we want to attach it is date or names. Names, comma, dates, comma, places.
Do I need to capitalize there?
No,
Or is
you're
this
okay.
Okay.
Places and relationships. Match. Okay? And that works. So hit attach. And you've just attached that record back to Cordelia. Okay? Awesome. Now we want to attach it to Charles.
So cute. I want you guys to come clap for me when I do this at my house because it's a really good feeling. I don't know if I can do this. I can do this. I'm going to do
You're
this.
great. Keep going. Attach.
Attach these?
Yeah, we're going to attach that too to Charles. Because while we're here, we might as well get everyone.
Okay, so did I do it?
Yeah, you did it. Add,
Add.
attach. Keeps the reason statement. That's nice. Do the same thing with Pearlie. Attach. Wait on that one a second. Attach that. Add,
Oh.
attach. You're a pro. One more.
Oh.
Start that one. Add. Attach. Perfect. Those are all linked. Now we're going to add Ursa. Add.
Add.
What it does is it looks in the tree and says, do I have someone that matches in Ursa? And if so, it will bring up a match, but it didn't find that. So it's like, I don't find a match for Ursa. I'm just going to add her. Is that okay? She's born in 1902, and we don't know a death date yet. We can research that later. We can do that in a later session.
Okay.
All right? So create new person. Now, what it's doing is it's taking all that information from the indexed record and it's adding a person to the tree. Okay? So you've just added your first person to the tree. Now you're going to add this residence and attach the record. Okay? Good. Now, last step, because we have limited time today, we want to go back to Cordelia up here, back to her page. Go to Ordinances. And the yellow temple is turned green.
So I can request these?
Yep.
What?
Request. Request. This is the policy,
Okay.
which I will explain later.
Okay.
But we're following it. It's the important point. Okay.
Checking it.
Checking it. And they are all reserved. Okay? Now let's go get her daughter real quick. All right? So come back to the details. And scroll down here, all the way down, and find Ursa. And click on person. And go to Ordinances. And we want to request those. Now, again, you know what to do. Request. Awesome. Policy. You agree to it. You're adding it to your list. So you got 2 names now. Good?
Yes.
All right, last step. Temple. All reserved. And here you have Ursa's name. You have the sealing of Charles to Ursa, which you can do now. And you have Cordelia. Okay? Now click this box here.
This one?
Top one.
Okay.
That checks them all.
Okay.
Print.
What?
Print family ordinance cards. This is a new feature that Family Search has added in the last month or so that lets you print temple cards from home. So we're going to print these.
They like it?
Yeah. Now, Emily, we're just about out of time, but really quickly, I wanted to share an insight or an impression I had. Do you know what Cordelia means, the name?
No.
It's related to the word heart. And sorry, get emotional about this, but I think that's cool because you're giving a family their mother today. You're giving them their heart back. And when I think about you and the way that you are with your children and your husband, it's a pattern I see with Page women. My wife's that way, your other sister Kate's that way, your mom's that way. You are the hearts of the home. And today you're giving literally the Bybee family their heart in this work. And I think it's cool because not only are you giving them their mom, but you're giving them their daughter.
Daughter.
Right?
It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. You have a daughter?
A daughter.
Right there.
Right there.
And you have sons.
I have sons.
Right? So imagine if you and Grace were separated, the men in that family had their work done, if you were separated, right? But you're bringing the women in the family to the men, and I just think that's awesome. Yeah?
That is so awesome.
Yeah. And that feeling that we're having right now, that's the spirit of Elijah, right? That's the spirit testifying to us of the divine nature of families. And that's what we're feeling. And that's what helped us want to come back again and again and again.
Yeah.
You signed up?
I'm in.
You're in. Okay.
Can they come cheer? That was good.
Yeah. Great. And I know Grace's 12th birthday is next month.
Yes.
So I think you should take these names. You could do Cordelia, Grace could do Ursa for her first temple experience.
That'd be awesome.
And we'll be back and we'll help you some more. Now, last thing before you go is, because a good missionary asks for a referral. So we've talked about find take today. Your opportunity is to teach someone else. And would you be willing if I came and helped you teach your son Sam? Because I have another name here, another path that we could take Sam through.
That'd be awesome.
And that way, when you went to the temple, Grace could do this name and Sam could do some names and Brandon could baptize you all. And I think that'd be a good family experience.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, got my referral. Thanks, Emily.